What's up, everyone, and welcome to Spark Talk. Today, I'll be going over the top 5 rivalries in the NBA at the moment. We'll be counting teams only, no player rivalries, so no Russell Westbrook and no Damian Lillard type of rivalries. We'll be just counting the teams, and that can be saved up for another video later on in the future. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get into this. The number 5 rivalry on this list is the 76ers versus the Celtics. This rivalry is one of the most fun to watch in the NBA at the moment. These are very, very physical games in a non-physical era of basketball. Then you add in the history to this rivalry and the amount of times they've gone at it. The most Game 7s in NBA history, the most played matchup in NBA history as well. Also, you add in the stars of today to these teams. You have 2 MVP candidates as the lead guys on these teams. You have Jason Tatum, you have Joel Embiid, who won MVP this year in 2023. Then you have 2 All-NBA guys as second options as well in Jaylen Brown and James Harden. 12 out of the last 23 matchups have been within 10 points. So that is from the 2017-2018 season when Jason Tatum entered the league. And since that time, they have played 3 playoff series in 6 years, Boston winning all of them. 9 of their 16 playoff games in that span have been within 10 points. This is an old rivalry that is still going strong today and has the players to make it very relevant for the next 10 years plus. Number 4 rivalry on this list is the Lakers versus the Warriors. It's LeBron versus Steph Curry. Then epic finals run from 2015 to 2018, especially those pre-Kevin Durant Warriors. Those first 2 finals were super fun to watch. And these two now have great number 2s on their team. They have Anthony Davis and they have Klay Thompson, 2 All-NBA caliber guys when they're healthy. And this rivalry was the rivalry of the last decade, and it still holds up a couple of years into this one as well. And the Warriors had their injury issues after Kevin Durant left in the 2019 offseason, and LeBron's first year in LA was a complete dud. But over the last 2 years, 5 of their 8 regular season matchups have been within 10 points. Every time these 2 teams get together, it feels like a massive game. It feels like an important game. Then you include the 2021 play-in game that was super fun to watch. It came down to the wire and the Lakers ended up winning. Then you add in this past year's second round series between these 2 teams, and it felt like a conference finals series. Even though the games weren't really close, as you would hope they would be, there was just so much star power on both of these teams, and it was really on display. And I'm excited to see where this goes as LeBron gets closer and closer to retirement, and Curry gets older and older, and their supporting cast changes around them. This rivalry is going to be very fun to watch over the next couple of years. These 2 teams should be playoff teams going forward. And especially, you still have LeBron, you still have Steph Curry. It should make for an entertaining game because you have those 2 in it. The number 3 rivalry on this list is the Lakers versus the Grizzlies. This rivalry started because of a former football player and an anchor on Fox Sports, Shannon Sharpe, who kind of basically simps LeBron throughout the show and throughout his run on Undisputed. But this past playoff series showed why this matchup is one of the best rivalries in basketball at the moment. These 2 teams do not like each other, and they do not care for each other at all. You have some of the best trash talking outside the game, and you also have some of the best trash talking inside the game as well. And we haven't seen anything kind of like that in the NBA in a while, is what it feels like. It makes the sport more fun when you have 2 teams that just hate each other and they want to beat each other so bad, and you just see every player is given 110% in the game and are willing, to also throw shade off the court. It just makes the rivalry fun and all of that, even though the games weren't, as close as we'd hoped they'd be in that first round matchup. I think this has potential to be a very fun rivalry over the next couple of years. Very similar to that Grizzlies and Clippers rivalry with, they had Blake Griffin and they had Zach Randolph, those two heating up against each other and, throwing shade against each other. So this should be a very fun rivalry over the next couple of years until LeBron hops to a new team or retires. The number 2 rivalry on this list is the Bucks versus the Celtics. This rivalry has really become something over the past 5 years, and it all started with that amazing Round 1 series in 2018. It went to 7 games, and you had plays like this.
Who's going to get the shot here? Gets it in. Middleton for the tie. Oh my goodness!
This series really jolted this rivalry into one of the best in the league. You had Terry Rozier calling Eric Bledsoe Drew Bledsoe. Then you had Drew Bledsoe making his first public appearance in Boston in what felt like 2 decades. Then the next year, you had a very disappointing series where you had the Bucks just manhandling an all-star Celtics team. Then you go to the 2022 second round series, and it had one of the best collections of moments from a series in a very, very long time. You had that crazy Game 3 ending where you had the Bucks up 3 with Boston shooting 2 free throws, and they missed the second on purpose, and they get an offensive rebound only to have the tip go in after the buzzer. Then you had the Al Horford game in Game 4 where he single-handedly manhandles the Bucks in the later part of the third quarter into the fourth quarter. Then in Game 5, you had the incredible putback by Bobby Portis and that block by Jrue Holiday in Game 5. Then you had Jason Tatum put up 46 in Game 6, and then you had the Grant Williams game in Game 7 to help the Celtics get back to the Eastern Conference Finals. Not only has the playoffs been exciting, but the regular season has been fun to watch too since that 2017-2018 season. Out of 20 games in that time, they have had 14 within 10 points. This has been one of the most entertaining rivalries over the past 5 to 6 years, and it's only going to continue to get better, especially when you have Tatum growing and you have Giannis growing as well, especially in their primes. This should be a very fun rivalry for a very long time. The number 1 rivalry in the NBA in 2023 is the Heat versus the Celtics. This has to be number 1, right? 3 Eastern Conference Finals matchups in the past 4 years, with the cores of these teams basically remaining the same. And in that span, you've had 20 playoff games played between these teams out of a possible 21. This is looking like one of the most important rivalries of the past decade, especially if one of these teams can cap it off with a title win. Since Jimmy Butler joined the Miami Heat in the 2019 offseason, there have been 9 of 13 matchups decided within 10 points during the regular season. Both of these teams do not like each other, and it just brings a little bit extra into these games when they do play each other. These games feel important, and they have been important over the past couple of years. They have decided who's been in the finals 3 of the past 4 years, and this is what we need in the NBA. We need rivalries. We need more physical play to counteract some of these tanking teams that just get blown out over the course of the year and only pick up like 20 wins, 25 wins throughout the year. The NBA has had some down years as of late because I think we need more rivalries. This year has seen a ratings boost because of new rivalries and the potential for some heated matchups, in my opinion. Hopefully we can get rivalries back and star players don't have to always be buddy-buddy with each other when they step onto the court.